I am about to show you two images. Depending on who you are and depending on how you were raised, these two images are going to hit you in a very different way. Once I've done this, comment down below how they hit you. The image on the left might make you feel safe, calm, like everything's working, like the world's under control. But for someone else, that same exact image is a trigger. It raises red flags and it says, be careful. Then you've got the image on the right. You look at that image, same thing. For some people, it's a symbol of order, of strength, and authority. For others, it's different. It's a symbol of intrusion, overreach, and it says it's a whole lot of trouble coming your way. Two images, two reactions, same country, same set of rules. And that, my friends, is the point of today's video. Because in today's day and age, our reactions to authority, our trust or lack thereof, they're shaped long before the rule book is written and laid down in front of you. When people writing the rules forget that, well, when they think that our trust is automatic, that it's guaranteed, that it's written into the system they're working with and non-negotiable, well, that's when the system starts to break down. Greetings, truck lovers and truth seekers. Boss Man here with another edition of Truckin' Headlines. Your walk through the news and a dose of critical thinking, fueled by faith, sanctioned by God. Critical thinking is that one thing lacking sorely in society today. So I want to begin today's video with simply, do you trust the people making the rules? Because if you don't, the story becomes each and every person that doesn't watch this video. Take a moment, hit the like button. This way, more people can learn how easy critical thinking is in trucking today. Now, hold on to the question I just asked you. Hold it in your mind, because the reason I bring it up is because the Department of Transportation just got slapped with a restraining order, or a stay, if you will, on the previously mentioned IFR. We've reported on this channel a couple of times now. A short time ago, Sean Duffy handed out an emergency interim ruling that said all states must stop issuing non-domicile CDLs and audit their systems to come into compliance to stop the issuance of fraudulent licenses. The Department of Transportation is now tasked with having to prove that it acted with good intent. Very quickly, people started gathering together resources to file a lawsuit in a district court to have an administrative stay levied against the Department of Transportation. So what I want to do today is break down piece by piece how this rule came together, why we are here, where we're at, why the court froze it, and what the battle means. Once you see the full picture, that question I asked earlier, do you trust people making the rules, is going to hit a whole lot differently. Now let's think this through rather carefully, because when we look at who's been making the rules over the last 8 years, much like how I opened the video, we've got two different faces. Depending on who you are, depending on how you were raised, and depending on what you do, you'll have two different reactions and you'll think two different ways. With the Biden administration, we had Pete Buttigieg at the helm at the Department of Transportation. And Pete's approach, well, let's just be honest here. It was all about expansion of programs, expansion of immigration pathways, expansion of labor pools. He was often quoted as saying, don't worry, the federal government will help meet the demand. It looked like cheap labor pipelines were quietly being supported. Many saw that, many pointed it out, many also ignored it. All of this being assisted with the overall narrative of the driver shortage being gospel. It also looked like licensing loopholes and CDL mills. See, that was one side. That was all in the Biden administration. If you disagree with my take, let me know in the comments below. Then you've got image number two, the one that's now running the show during the Trump administration. Former Congressman Sean Duffy, now Secretary of Transportation. Whether you agree with him politically or even myself politically, this guy didn't just step into a calm office with smooth dashboards and neatly aligned levers. Everything was chaos. He inherited a cockpit on fire because what I described in the Biden administration left quite the chaotic mess. Broken systems, exploded loopholes, corrupted licensing protocols, fraudulent CDL mills, more than any one person can track, and years worth of collapsed oversight. Let me tell you something. The pressure on that man is enormous. He doesn't get the luxury of phasing in reforms over time. No, he's got to immediately start all of this. He gets handed a crisis, a federal workforce angry about the fraud that exists, a trucking industry that's begging for what should have been there to begin with, which is what real standards, novel concept, right? And a public demanding accountability after several accidents took lives. Quite the dichotomy. Two images, two different pictures. I asked the same question. Do you trust these people making the rules? If you don't, put it in the comments. Why? I'd like to have that conversation. While you're down there, become a subscriber. Now, I'm going to level with you here because, and I'm going to try to say this as neutral and as easily as I can. In the grand scheme of things, really, honestly, the average trucker probably doesn't give two shits who's behind the wheel of most of these trucks. They say they do, and they make it sound like they do. But honestly, I really don't think they do. Here's why I say. The truth is, every time a story drops, they'll pound keys right off the keyboard. They get into Facebook groups and they have cage matches. They talk about you're wrong, you're right, insult. I mean, left, right, and sideways. YouTube videos get lit up like Christmas tree. But you ask one of them guys, one of them, to make a phone call to a congressman, crickets. Ask them to fill out a public comment form on the docket with the FFCSA. Nope. One not long ago had less than 1,000 comments. Historically, we've had up to almost 50 on others. Public involvement is dropping. People don't care. Suddenly, all of a sudden, nowadays, it's not my problem. That's what you hear. It's not my problem. Where we used to get a lot of involvement, where we used to get a lot of people talking, now, crickets. Now you see why I'm asking the question. Do you trust the people that are making the rules? Well, guess what, people? I got news for you. This is your problem. This is 100% your problem. The courts are fighting out right now whether or not people that are unqualified can drive trucks. That's your problem. Rules are being made that greatly affect what your future is going to look like. You'll hear about it in the news, but you won't say a thing. So it is your problem. So, my friends, we need to start trusting somebody. And if at the end of the day we can't trust nobody, we need to put someone there we can. We get more done working together than we do working alone. Hashtag just saying. Something I didn't mention moments ago was that despite the IFR Sean Duffy put into place before it was put in as an administrative stay, the U.S. Postal Service tried going along with this ban and immediately reversed. The USPS is currently using non-English speaking drivers and drivers holding non-domiciled CDLs. No one wants a safe system. They want a profitable system, and they're willing to go to any expense to keep it. The DOT tried to push through a rule that would restrict CDLs. A court stopped it. A government agency worked against it. And we've got people in the industry that won't stand up for what's right. What's right is a CDL is a privilege. A CDL is a privilege. It must be earned. It must be trained. It must be earned. It's not a right. You don't have a right to come into our industry knowing nothing. You have to prove yourself. I did. Any professional in this industry today also did. Sean, you're on the right track. My friend, stand your ground. Hold the line. And what's more, you need to also go after the USPS, the United States Postal Service, make them do the right thing. Sean, Duffy, you're doing a good job. I fully support you. If you're watching this video, I suggest you get off your ass and support Sean with me. Don't just sit there, look at two images, and think it's not my problem. Get off the fence. Answer the question, do you trust the people making the rules? And if you answer yes, then back them up. And if you don't, get out of our way. Come hell or high water, we will make trucking great again.